Louisiana beer reviews. Holy Mackerel Special Golden Ale, 8.5% alcohol, brewed in Florida. This is the brewing company was founded in 2003. They use Pilsner malt, Saaz hops, and it's considered. Oh, and they also use Belgian Trappist yeast. It's a Belgian-style ale, and apparently it has some spices added to it as well. It's an average rating on Beer Advocate, although the Bros gave it a poor rating. It's a 67 out of 100 on Rate Beer and a 40 out of 100 for the style. There aren't many video reviews for this beer. Chad gave it a very poor review. Hoggy thought it was pretty good, and then Bitter Poet Madman, he really liked it. So I've never had it. I picked this up in Metairie, Louisiana at Martin Wine Cellar. This has been aged 4 years. This was bottled in 2008, and they recommend aging in at least 2 years. Okay. I don't think it was but about $1.80 for the bottle, or it could have been less than that. Well, there's no head on this thing. Well, there's a very thin head, but there's essentially no head, and it's kind of cream colored. The beer itself is very dark as far as was very opaque. It's an orange color, apricot color, and it's very you can't see through it. You can see a few bubbles streaming up the side. Okay. Let's switch the bottom around, bottom contents, and see if we get sediment. Well, it does bring the head up a little bit. Still thin, cream colored. Oh yeah, there's a lot of gray, dark gray matter at the bottom. Certainly was a lot of sediment. And there's more in there. Okay, let's go with the smell test. It smells dank, musty, woody. Kind of moldy, old, like you would expect, I guess, being 4 years old. Aged. Alright, well, let's see what the taste is like. You get some apricot. This is going to be a hard one to describe. Some kind of bread dough, sort of a bit of some fruit, but it's not. I thought it was going to have a turned smell, like a spoiled, flavor, but it doesn't have that turned flavor, really. There's some nuttiness, some woodiness, a lot of water in the flavor, really. That sediment was so heavy it went straight to the bottom. I don't know what these flavors are. They're pretty subtle. There's some richness to it. Not a lot of aroma here. It's not strong. There's no alcohol. You don't pick up any alcohol in the flavor or the aroma. You don't get any of that real peppery, spicy yeastiness that you get with the Belgian ales. Doesn't taste like that. It just tastes, well, unique. And it's not a bad flavor. It's a pretty good flavor, really.
there is some sweetness. There is some fruitiness coming out now. Some, I'll say, orange peel. The mouthfeel is medium, on the lighter side of medium. The finish is sort of wet, sort of mellow, easygoing, and the drinkability is shockingly high. This is about the mildest, most unoffensive 8.5% beer that I've ever drank, whether it's an ale or a lager. I mean, it's just really mellowed out. So, being such a tiny brewery, I'm thinking that the reason you get these wild swings in the reviews, the ratings, is that their quality control is probably not that great. That's just a theory, I guess, or hypothesis. So that's the hypothesis, and it's this: if a person was to buy 10 bottles of this from different years and age them the same amount of time relative to the year on the bottle, then the flavor would and the aroma would be quite different for each of the 10 bottles. That's my hypothesis. Of course, you'd have to try that out. How would I rate this? Even some bread crust. This is becoming more complex as it warms up. But just from the initial kind of shock, really, I'm going to give it an A minus. Not going to go with an A, but I'm going to give it an A minus. It is at least excellent. It is certainly unique, and it's unusual. So if you want to try something that's really like nothing else you've tried, check this out. Now that's 4 years old, so if you get one from 2 years ago or from this year, it might be totally different. So anyway, this was a really interesting review, and I'm going to enjoy drinking the rest of this, I believe. And I don't know what's going to happen when I get to the bottom. So, laissez les bon temps rouler. This is an excellent and quite interesting beer, and I'm going to end this review by saying, y'all come on down to New Orleans.